So look to the horizon, not the cloud. I've been storming where it's go too cold. Seems like it crept up out of nowhere, all around. You is not quite what you foretold. You never see it coming. You see that my mind is the best for rise. You're done there. By the time you see you, you're not surprised.
Some say his father was German. Nobody ever believed he was real. Nobody ever knew him or saw anybody that ever worked directly for him. But to hear Kobayashi tell it anybody could have worked for Seze, you never knew. That was his power. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News. We're here today with two people that I certainly enjoy going over their videos. Mr. Stuffs, as well as Snort Burnell. These are going to be, we're going to start with Snort Burnell first, as tradition. DsPgaming, the Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 Redemption Run, $2,000 goal, as well as Mario Sunshine Delay. And then we're going to jump over to Mr. Stuffs, where he'll go over, I think he goes over the Redemption Run, as well as the Lady Friend. Now, ladies and gentlemen, apparently Phil, a couple days back, had slipped up and instead of calling this young lady or whoever she is his girlfriend, he kept saying lady friend, which started to just drum up more suspicion. His inconsistencies over the last week or so is showing, and because of that, it allows people to doubt him more and more. And the thing is a lot of that doubt isn't coming from the detractors, it's coming from people in his own camp. So apparently it's cut a little quick to the wick than he would want. It is what it is. Maybe he didn't say the lie loud enough. Maybe he couldn't get other people to say it long enough. Who can say? But we're going to get into these two videos. We'll see what comes out of it. And yeah, this might be, I don't know if this will be the only news story for the day, but we'll have to wait and see. Some interesting developments have come around. And I still have some other projects I need to wrap up. But ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. You guys know the slogan, so let's go ahead and get into it. Here we go.
Excuse me. Sound good?
Yes, sir.
I love it. I love gameplay. I love, video games are my hobby as well as my job. I love doing this. I love sharing my gameplay experiences with you guys daily, but I need time off to recuperate.
Unbelievable.
I do talking every day for excess of 5 to 8 hours, depending on how much I actually stream. It hurts my throat, it hurts my voice, it wears me out.
Maybe you should drink some tea and stay away from all those energy drinks. Just saying.
Sitting around all day instead of actually getting, movement.
Is not the best thing for me. And just having time to have my mind not completely focused on live streaming and gaming and the bills and the business and everything going on for a few days every couple months is a very healthy thing, alright? Now, recently I also revealed that these past couple times that I've actually been spending time away from live streaming, I've been spending time with my girlfriend.
That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my goddamn life.
Now, that was a big revelation the other day. Most people didn't know that. But it is true that these times off...
How could anybody know that when you said it was a secret? Let's Jesus Christ, Phil. Keep the lies together, sir.
Off that I've been taking, it's a good chunk of time for me to actually spend with my
lady friend.
And, that way it doesn't really interfere with work. It's kind of just a big chunk of time that I'm able to dedicate and spend with her. Although I don't get to spend every moment of it with her. What are you people talking about? I said lady friend, and now people are like,
oh, so she's not your girlfriend? Yes, she is, stupid.
Actually, she's not. She's just another source of revenue. He's already confirmed that on Twitter.
Oh my god. The rantings of like a 5-year-old. People will literally take anything I say and twist it into something dramatic. Guys, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. If you want to be a viewer of mine, and you want to be a fan of mine, you're going to cut that shit out. Because I'm not 16. like many of you, I guess, or at least your mindset mentalities.
Really? I mean, your relationship broke up in like late April, early Mayish, let's say middle May, and then you caught up with this new chick in what? Like, like July, August? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of young people move at that position. You know what I'm saying? They move at that type of pace. You know what I'm saying? The dates are kind of fuzzy. So, I mean, which hints the reason why a lot of people don't believe that she's real. Because you were able to pull another woman, a real woman, who's not plastic, who doesn't require air to be expanded and whatnot, in like 2 months after Leanna leaves. And you don't leave your house barely ever. You barely wash. Huh? How did you pull that? That's why that whole situation doesn't even sound right. That's why people keep calling you out to this very day.
Because I said lady friend does not mean anything. It was just a different way to say girlfriend, alright?
Why'd you just say girlfriend? Just like how you call Leanna your ex-girlfriend instead of really saying she was your ex-fiancée. But you never had any plans of marrying her, did you? That's why you keep calling her your ex-girlfriend. Because you never really wanted to marry Leanna. And she knew that. You know what I mean? That's why she did that desperate attempt with that fake ring online. And then eventually you end up buying her a $130 ring. Something like that. Is that all she was worth to you? I've been meaning to ask you about that. Like, I can't remember exactly how much the ring was. It was certainly under, like, $200. But is that really all she meant to you? For someone who brings in thousands and thousands of dollars a month and who wasn't paying taxes, wasn't paying business taxes anyway, like, you really couldn't get that woman a proper ring for all she did for you? Well, like they say, you don't turn maids into housewives.
Jesus Christ. Alright, people let you down. Oh, so lady friend, so he's been friend zoned. That means she's not his girlfriend, right? Oh my god.
Why am I toxic?
And now, of course, you got people that you know, why does Phil get riled up so early, so easily? It was just a joke. Because, guys, it's not funny. Number one, it's not funny.
I'm not a whiny baby.
And number two, you know what happens. People take the shit that you guys say, and they will spin it into something negative. So, I understand, maybe you think it's funny. It's not. And it's not funny to say stuff like that you know people will jump on and turn this. Because then, next thing you know, people will be coming in, what? So it's not his girlfriend, what? Because that's how people are. And you guys know that. You guys aren't newcomers to the streams. You guys aren't newcomers to me. You know what happens. So, you gotta kind of wise up, alright? More Need for Speed Payback. The problem is, the game is literally creating an artificial grind, which is trying to push you to buy loot boxes, which obviously I'm not gonna fucking do. But people have loved my rage about this game, so I'm gonna keep playing it. As long as people are liking it, I'm gonna keep playing it, alright?
Anything for this, right?
Yep. Jesus Christ, man.
We hit the goal.
We hit it. We did do it. We hit the goal.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
What? Well, first off, he did actually hit the goal too. I'm sorry, Snort Burnell. You were just slightly off on that one. You know what I'm saying? But I mean that with all due respect, though. But he did actually hit the goal. That was already confirmed by a couple other people. Shouts out to Doom. He confirmed that also here, because I really didn't think he hit the goal either. But apparently he did. But also, what is all this belching and all this bull? What woman wants to deal with this? Even within the confines of his own office, what person would want to deal with that? I mean, she's living, or she will be eventually, maybe, be living with a real man pig without the bacon. Or the ham. Or the pig feet. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand this shit. Like, why would anybody want to engage in something like this with another person? With a person like him, anyway. That just seems distasteful. To be perfectly honest with you. Maybe it's just me.
Excuse me. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, for December, alright, the big goal, this is pretty much the most requested Patreon goal I've ever had in the history of me doing Patreon.
Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3.
Are games that when I first played them, I had never played them before. In fact, I never had any exposure to them. I had never seen them. I knew that they were games that were held in high esteem and high regard, but I didn't really know much about them. All right. So
you thought you would just disrespect those games and their community by playing the game shitty, and you wonder why you're hated now. Lol.
I played them at first in the HD collection that released for PlayStation 3. So, here I am. Now, keep in mind, this was, what, 2011? This was me back when, way back when I didn't have much respect for the games that I played. I didn't try...
Snort Burnell's right. You still don't.
To play them seriously. In a lot of cases, it was me just fucking around. Okay? Being an asshole. A lot of the times not paying any attention to what was going on in the game. Not actively actually trying to learn how to play the game. Just flubbing my way through stuff. And you know, that was kind of my gimmick for a while. Is Phil is a common guy who just doesn't give a shit. And he's just dicking around with his games. He's not too serious about it. Then over the years, things evolved and people wanted to see me be more serious. And I ended up getting a lot better at the games that I played. And now my playthroughs, quite honestly, in a lot of ways, are a lot more high quality.
What the fuck? Are you fucking serious?
You know, there's some
I guess he
examples
is.
against that, like Need for Speed Payback, where the game just fucking sucks and I don't care about it and I don't want to play it in the way that they want me to do, and grind to fucking upgrade cars and do loot boxes and shit, fucking idiots.
But for the most part, my gameplay today is way, way higher quality than it used to be. Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Wow.
The way this is going to work, let me explain. I'm going to lay the ground rules out for you.
Yes, please.
This is a two-tiered goal. And I haven't done a two-tiered or multi-tiered goal on Patreon in a long time.
The purpose of this, folks, is to raise money. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills.
Yep.
No lies, because I need the money right now with this whole tax situation I'm in. I need the money. I slap you with my e-penis. Anything for this, right?
Yep.
Because right now I'm in a really bad place. By the end of January, I need to raise enough funds, okay, not only to pay off my 2017 business taxes that I'm going to owe, now that apparently I owe them, now that I know this, which I never knew before. I also am going to have to pay my tax attorney for doing all this work for me over the past couple of months and trying to sort this out with Washington State taxes. And also, I'm going to have to apparently either do a lump sum payment or to start on a payment plan for back taxes that apparently I owe, which I didn't know until 2 months ago because it's all...
See, here's the thing. And I usually save more of my opinions for the Mr. Stuff's situation and just throw little quiffs out on this one. But yet again, this is why people think it's a scam. Because how are you going to ask for a set amount of money when you don't actually know what you owe? Like Almighty Tevin has pointed that out also, but how do you do that? That just sounds stupid. And it sounds shady. It sounds super fucking shady. But it's Phil. And the pig, when the pig squeals, Lord knows those Patreon supporters need to come and running. It's just one day, he's going to squeal a little too loud, and he's going to lose his voice because, you know, he talks so much because he works so hard. And by the time you guys show up, he's going to be bacon. And there'll be nothing you can do about it.
My old tax attorney's fault for being a fucking piece of shit. So that being said, I'm in a bad way financially. I want to keep my house.
Greed is massively strong. I have no fucking self-control.
Nope.
This is a major fundraising effort, make no mistake, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we hit the normal goal, which is the $1,125, all right, on Patreon, really it
You mean $1,250?
translates to about $1,250 for me, FYI, but because Patreon is all screwed up and everything with the public-facing number, I just leave it at $1,125.
Now, here's the thing. Even though Doom has confirmed this, as well as a few others, especially Eddie on Twitter, and on YouTube, by the way, too. Shouts out to Eddie. Why doesn't anybody else ever complain about that, though? There are plenty of other people that I watch who have Patreons, too, and they never complain about this. Is it because he's on the lower spectrum of the financial, like, totem pole that it hits him the hardest? Or what's the deal exactly? I never, ever hear anybody complain about, oh, you know, Patreon's so screwed up, and even though the goal is this, it always translates into this. Like I said, even though, for at least him anyway, it's been proven to do that, and it's because of when you make a pledge 1 month and then you lower it the next month, it somehow affects it. That makes no sense. How does Patreon, like, why hasn't Patreon fixed that yet? That really makes no sense whatsoever. I just thought I'd throw that out there. It's a strange little quirk that seems to only happen to him and nobody else. But in truth, Patreon should really fix that. They really should.
That's what it shows, even though I get more than that. I know that sounds stupid, but that's how it works.
You gotta listen to me and not listen to the people who spin what I say.
If we just hit that goal, what'll happen is people who pledge $5 or more during the month of December to my Patreon will be voting. Do you want to see a redemption run of Metal Gear Solid 2 or Metal Gear Solid 3? And once the vote's over, which would probably take about a week to 2 weeks tops, I'm going to start those redemption runs.
Lol. Unbelievable.
Very much so.
Wow.
So whatever wins the poll will be a major redemption run in early January. What I'm hoping is that within the first week of January we can get the poll going, and within a week it could be done, and then we can boom start the playthrough. Now, here is the thing, folks. Here is the thing. If we reach the stretch goal, what is the stretch goal?
$2,000.
Damn.
What? That's insanity. This shocks me. Greed is massively strong. Why is it so?
You want 2 racks for that? To see you do a boring playthrough of a game of 2 games you've already failed at? That doesn't seem. That I mean, I understand it's called a redemption run, but still, no. That just seems. Just play Mario Sunshine. Fucking A. Seriously. Like, I understand you already took the money for that and ran, but just play Mario Sunshine. Do that. Fucking A. Gee, this is gonna be bad. This is really gonna be bad.
So much because I need the money.
That's boring.
That's why I really need.
If you really need the money, then why don't you play games that your Patreon supporters actually want to see you play? Why don't you do that and whatnot? You'd probably get way more money doing that too, by the way, if you did that. But no, you're you're so limp that you need to try to get your own confidence up by fucking playing 2 games from like 5 years ago that you already failed at and you're known for. Even if you did a redemption run, even if you did it well, it doesn't wipe away the stain that's already there. You already left the shit stain. You can't really fix, and you didn't do anything to wash it. You can't really do much about it now. You just kind of have to deal with it.
The money to keep this house.
And if we hit that goal, that would be a significant increased amount of funds raised to help me out with this issue right now.
You created the monster.
Yep.
You unleashed the monster.
That's right.
And now your complaint is, well, the monster's too powerful to control.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck you. That's your fault.
Damn right.
Okay. If we hit the stretch goal during this month, I'll be playing both. You won't even need to vote. In which case, if that's the case, think about that. If we hit the stretch goal, there's no wait. As soon as January starts, I can start playing these games immediately. There wouldn't be a wait for people to vote of a week. If we hit the stretch goal, boom. January starts, I start with Metal Gear Solid 2. And I play that, and then when that's done, boom. Metal Gear Solid 3. Okay?
I honestly hope we hit the stretch goal, because if we hit the stretch goal, it's the ideal situation. Inside of people, there is this desire to just control, hurt, take, you know what I mean? And fuck everyone else. How about instead of all that dumb fucking shit, you actually put on a fucking shirt and tie, you come into work, you sit the fuck down at a desk, and you actually do some goddamn fucking work.
And well, some people may not understand, and I get that. Some people, I don't understand. Why is this such a big deal?
Snort Burnell is the greatest. He's amazing. Well done, sir. Well done.
Why does Phil think this is a good goal? I played Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, and I didn't pay any attention to the games. Like I said, I flubbed through them, and the problem was those games have such a rabid, hardcore fucking fan base. Right, and I was joking during the playthroughs about Kojima sucking and being a perv and stuff like that. Oh my god, that was it. People made "this is how you don't play" videos. They made slanderous videos about me, negative comments up the wazoo. This literally was the beginning of the huge negative movement about me on YouTube. And now here we are in 2017.
That's not true. You had a pretty good, you had a pretty hateful, air quotes, following from that Blip TV nonsense. Well, let's not forget about that, Phil. Let's not forget about that. Why don't you try to do a redemption run on that? Oh, you can't. Because Blip TV doesn't exist anymore. That would be difficult, wouldn't it?
And honestly, let's face it here, folks. This is how you don't play isn't super popular anymore. It died out. You know.
Did it really? That's funny. Because some of the usual suspects, they get really good views. For real, for real. Wow. I was not aware. Hey, were you guys aware of that? Oh shit. I'm the only one in the office this morning. I forgot, my bad. They'll be here in another hour. Shit. God damn it. That means I have to get up and make my own cappuccino. Fuck. 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 What are you gonna do? Yeah. No. Not at all. Not at all. This is how you don't play will never go out of style. Ever. Even the smaller channels, like channels that are my size that do them, still get really, really good views. Certainly better views than Phil does. So, You're lying again, Phil. That's not very good. It's not very good at all. No, it isn't.
Yeah, there's still people who do
Oh
know.
no!
And quite honestly, the videos don't even get nearly as many views as my actual playthroughs.
Oh well, maybe because you're not flagging them down. Maybe we should try that. That'll help boost those views, I guess.
Wow.
You know, it's just, at this point, there's very few people who actually do it, who anyone cares about. It's a small group of circle-jerking idiots, right, who still care about these stupid videos. But the bottom line is, I mean,
you mean those stupid videos that a couple years ago you tried to profit from by making your own "This is how you don't plays," and then you got mad that no one watched them because what? Because you thought you could spin the narrative to your own benefit, and you try to profit off of it. Even though if you had rolled with those punches initially when that first one came out all those years ago, if you had just rolled with the punches instead of being a little bitch and going ahead and trying to. And, well, I think you did get it taken down, and then it went back up. And pulled all that nonsense that you pulled behind the scenes with you and Machinima. If you had just rolled with those punches, you probably would be slightly more popular than you are now. Maybe? I don't know. I should probably... maybe I'll ask Almighty Tevin about that. I'm not sure if I could... Maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit too optimistic.
Redemption worked out pretty well for me with Dark Souls 1, and this is something people want to see, alright?
Views. I don't want to be Mr. Views. I really need your support right now, folks.
So if you want to see me be successful, all I can say is pledge to Patreon this month. Let's get this going. Let's hit that goal. Let's do both games, right? Seriously.
Stop being a moron. Seriously, stop. I'm serious. Stop. Of course, you got the salty idiots who don't like me. The bad idea. Fuck you. What?
Wow. Well, you have been pulling down a lot of forums, a lot of threads on your forums lately, so I guess so, Phil. But let's be honest, the detractors are a little bit more closer than you thought. Just saying.
Am I toxic? No, really, and I mean it. There's people out there who, no matter what I do, they want to say it's a terrible idea, and fuck you.
But it's a terrible idea.
I'm the villain? Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck
Listen,
yourself.
I need the support right now.
Enough of the whiny little bitches. Let's just get this shit going.
I'm not a whiny baby.
Now here's the thing. This is coming from somebody who recently asked his fan base to be like, hey, tell people about the streams. Bring them over. Let them see how this is a really great place to hang out and chill, and we're all buddy-buddy here, and we sing Kumbaya. It's not a negative place, it's a positive place. But he's saying shit like this. So if you were someone brand spanking new, maybe you were on Twitter or something, and you saw someone say that, hey, I'm gonna head over there to Phil's stream at X amount of time, you guys should check it out. And if someone was like, alright, I'll pop in. And let's say they pop in like halfway through the stream, when Phil's usually bitching, and then he or she hears this shit, they're gonna be like, who the fuck is... No, I don't want to deal with this shit. He's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. Because how is it that you want to try to bring in a whole new batch of people to give you money? Because that's really what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't give a rat's ass about, new fans. He only gives a damn about what money they'll bring in. But when they hear you spewing shit like this, especially if they've heard your reputation in any type of way, shape, or form before that, either or, because they don't necessarily have to hear about you to know that you're a toxic individual once they hear this bullshit. Whether they've been pre-exposed to it or not. If you're pre-exposed to it and you come here, it just justifies what you've already heard. If you hadn't heard anything negative about them and you just decide to check it out and then you fall into this bullshit, and Phil goes into these little rants and shit for about a half hour, they're going to be like, this guy's a fucking asshole. Why would I fucking stay here for this bullshit? And then they're just going to be out. That's why he can't grow. And if he does, it's gradual. Or it's sock accounts. Or it's whatever else that Brightside and Golden Colts are paying to get him more views. Let's be honest. Why do you think those two guys are working fucking around the goddamn clock and using what little breaks they have from their multiple jobs to go on his streams to give him money? I'm just saying. That's just a rumor. I don't know if that's actually true. It is confirmed that one of them lives in a goddamn cardboard box, while Phil lives up in a house that's big enough that they could move one of them in so he could at least have a proper room. I'm just saying. DSP news. I haven't said that through the video yet, so yeah.
Yolo Dobber asks, when will we see a redemption run with Bloodborne? When? More than likely, I'm thinking probably the summer. Alright, Riggers 1 did a 10-bit share and says if you're
Hey, remember, ladies and gentlemen, you got to pay for that, though, first. So keep that in mind.
playing Metal Gear Solid in January. When is Sunshine? I've been looking forward to that since October. Well, the bottom line is, I just played 2 Mario games. I just played Mario plus Rabbids, right? Kingdom Battle. That went through August and all through September. And then immediately in October, I started playing Super Mario Odyssey. And that was played for another full month. I'm being real with you.
No, I'm not playing Sunshine right now. I got paid for your stupidity. Thanks for the money, dummy.
Sadly.
Because that's exactly what you fucking are. A bunch of fucking empty-headed idiots who paid me money
God damn,
to
Phil.
get absolutely nothing out of it. Thanks.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Sorry?
So, yeah, there you go. In a lot of ways, right? You got to understand. I can't speak for Snort Burnell and his genius because it's beyond me. It really is. But when you see him, when he chooses these cuts, right? He chooses it for a reason. You know what I'm saying? He's explaining Phil's narrative to you right then and there. That's why he uses those cuts. So it's not just for a comedic. He's really trying to send you guys a message. And most of you guys know it because I've seen some of Phil's fans actually in Snort Burnell videos, laughing it up. So some of you guys know, some of you. So why don't you guys just pass this on? You really should be sharing Snort Burnell's videos with pretty much everybody. There's no reason not to. There is no twisting of the facts. It's right there. It's all right there. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up.
You know, it is going to happen. I promised you guys, yes, the Sunshine play.
You guys paid him money for a playthrough that he's really not gonna do. And if he is gonna do it, you guys will pay him again. That's what he's gonna want. Right now he's backed up in a corner and he's so frustrated with hearing people say that shit that now he knows he's gonna have to do it. But please believe he's gonna try to squeeze some money out of you guys for it. And he'll try to figure out a way to justify it too. So don't get that twisted. That'll probably be right around the time the Phantom girlfriend literally disappears in the smoke. But we'll see.
Is going to happen, absolutely.
It's just not going to happen, until I get to a position where I can afford to do another playthrough that I'm not going to get paid for, all right? I will preface this immediately, folks. You will hear people in the next month saying that Phil is not playing Super Mario Sunshine, he's not fulfilling his promises to the patrons, he's done it again, he's stealing money, and...
This kind of shit needs to come out. This kind of shit needs to be exposed
That's
for
right.
what it is. These people are pieces of human shit.
Wow.
Why am I toxic?
These people don't care if I'm playing Sunshine or not. These people are just people who are assholes who want to spin everything they basically can to say that I'm a bad human and I'm a thief. The usual people who make shit up. I superbly promise to you that I'm going to be playing Super Mario Sunshine. But that's life, folks, is that things happen. Yeah, when I said, I'm going to play Sunshine next year, right, which is what I said more than likely January. Never promised January, but I said more than likely January. That was the understanding that everything was going to remain the same. Well, guess what? Things have changed, okay? Things have changed, and sadly, I need to raise money to keep my house. Once that's done, all right? Once that's done, then we can get the Sunshine, and it will happen, but it's not going to happen.
So wait a second. So you're going to hold Mario Sunshine basically hostage until you're out of the bullshit that you put yourself in, and then everybody can go to the promised land. Oh, I got you. I see the narrative. Okay, I got you. That's cool. I got you. So what's going to happen first then, Phil? Because you like comparing yourself to figures in the Bible, right? So let me try to see if I can go in there with you without fucking it up too much. So let's pick somebody. See, there's not a lot of assholes like you in the Bible. I mean, there is and whatnot, but they're held in very high esteem. So you want to lead people to the promised land, but you want to make sure you benefit. There's not too many people like that, but let's see. Who had a lack of faith? Moses. Let's choose Moses. I'm just going to choose Moses, not because I'm going to compare him to Phil, because that'd be disrespectful. But, Moses was leading his people. He was promising them salvation and water. They didn't find water. God told him there would be water. He got frustrated. He hit a rock, which was going to produce the water eventually. Well, so they say. He hit the stone, or he hit the rock. Water was produced. And then, because of his defiance, that one time, if I remember correctly, Even though they say there's actually a couple other times other than that, but realistically, let's just go with that. Okay, he wasn't actually able to lead them into the promised land. If I remember correctly, that's how the story of Moses kind of went. Obviously, I'm skimming through a bunch of shit. Moses had to endure a lot, but there we go. So let's jump back to you. I just want to try to throw that out there as a very terrible example. So you're going to hold Mario Sunshine hostage yet again. And you're going to wait till you get your shit squared away. The shit that you put yourself in. You took these people's money and you ran. Promised them a product. Now you're going to delay it until you get your shit together. And then you feel comfortable with doing it. Meaning that when you feel it's the right time to do it. And then you'll play it. Now, you do realize that in a few months, either people are going to forget, or you're going to have your back into the corner in such a way that you'll be forced to play it when other new games are probably going to eventually come out. Which means that you'll either have to wrap it up into another Patreon goal, or you'll guilt trip people into giving you money to play it. Now, I know most people would be like, well, Golden, isn't that the same thing? Not necessarily. See, him attaching it to a Patreon goal means that, hey, you guys can vote on this game to play, and as a bonus, we'll play this game. Stretch goal. That's what he'll try to do. The guilt trip one is a little bit different. Hey, guys, I had a really traumatic time from the time that I made that initial goal to play Mario Sunshine up till now. And I'm not able to put it on YouTube because Nintendo steals all my money, even though, disclaimer, I've been stealing money from them for a very long time under Mrhuth. So with that being said, I could really just use a lot of support. I really could use you guys to really come on stream and really, really donate and really try to make it worthwhile for me. Meaning that I want almost $1,000 a stream and whatnot, so I'm still getting my money. But I'm still going to bitch later on about how I had to put that on YouTube and I didn't get paid for it. So give me more money. That's what I meant about the guilt tripping and essentially blackmail. Sorry about the Moses comparison. It wasn't meant to be a comparison. I was just trying to throw it out there. I was feeling special for a minute there. So yeah, full of shit, Phil. God damn it.
Right now.
And here we go. Fuck all these idiots. I'm literally banning every piece of shit.
Wow.
Who's in the stream chat.
Damn.
Who's just there to talk shit.
Why?
You're gone. Why am I toxic? Toxic. Because that's all I see. I know who these people fucking are. And they were waiting the entire pre-stream for me to answer this question to try to spin it negative. That's something that...
Phil, if that's really true, there's a problem with that on a few different fronts. First thing, that means you're too damn predictable. If you're telling me that a group of people sat on your pre-stream and waited for you to bring up Mario Sunshine and how you were going to delay it, that means somebody was able to anticipate what your movements were before you announced it. First thing. Second thing, and most importantly, so you're predictable. The second thing is, well, you were going to say it eventually. We all knew you were going to delay it. We all knew that. And we all know that you're going to delay it with the anticipation and the precipice of trying to get more money out of it. There you go. Third thing is, everybody knows you didn't want to play it. That's why you didn't. You didn't want to play Mario Sunshine. That's why you didn't play it. You brought up this excuse that, oh, I'm only playing 3 Mario games. No. What you should have did is played Mario plus Rabbids, then you should have played Mario Sunshine, then you should have played Mario Odyssey. You know what I'm saying? So new, old, new. Who cares? You weren't going to get paid for the 3 of them anyway outside of streaming. Outside of you streaming them, you weren't going to make any money off them anyway. So you should have played them. If you had played Mario Sunshine then, who would have cared? You weren't going to make any money off it off YouTube. You would have made plenty of money off Twitch and you'd been fine. But see, you never wanted to play Mario Sunshine. You really don't want to play it. Everybody knows that. And that's why you got called out on your bullshit. And that's why you're mad now. Banning people left and right. But yet again, you want new people to come to your streams and see what kind of amazing environment you have and how fun it is. But yet you're hammering everybody left and right. God damn, people make the comparison to you and Spoony 1. And I have a video that I'm working on with that and whatnot. But the thing is that's sad about that is, in truth, Spoony 1's much better than you are. He has so much more talent than you. He could literally make soap suds entertaining. You don't even know what a soap sud is. You haven't bathed in a while. He has so much more talent than you. He has so much more on the ball than you. And in truth, you guys are pretty much in the same spot. And that, in truth, is a goddamn shame. So, fuck you, Phil. From GTG Network and Productions.
I did wrong. Fuck you.
Fuck
no,
you.
really. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
And I mean that. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
You fucking pieces of shit. You're only here to make me look bad. That's
You make yourself look bad. I didn't have to do that. No one else has to do that. We just let you do it and then call you out on it.
right. This is the United States of Phil. I am the supreme being. I make the rules, and what I say goes. This is not a place for you to stand on your soapbox and complain about censorship and freedom of speech.
Hence the reason why people get banned all the time.
Because the bottom line is you don't have freedom of speech.
That's true.
This is my land.
Yep.
Right? You're not here to have fun. You're not here to watch the fucking content. You're not here to fucking support me. You're here to be dicks.
So I'm supposed to come to your stream and give you money. Oh, and then deal with the Nazi chat and all the porn talk and everything else that goes on in the chat too. Oh, I see. So that's okay. But when I bring up that, hey Phil, you missed an item, ban his ass. Oh, okay. Okay. I got you. And you wonder why no one wants to go to your shitty ass streams. It's your fucking toxic ass chat.
And they say, oh, Phil said he was going to play Sunshine, he's not playing it. This is a black and white issue, the mentality of a 5-year-old, so he's in the wrong. Let's all make videos about it right now. Go ahead. Run off and make your fucking bullshit videos that are completely factually incorrect. If you act like an idiot, you're going to be treated like one.
I never promised I was playing Sunshine in January. I said I would probably play it in January. I did promise it would happen. But now, somehow, circumstances have changed, alright? I need to keep my fucking house. So
But then again, as I've said in a previous video, that's not your fans' fault. That you were dumb and pulled tax evasion and then got fucked over and let the government come get your bitch ass. Like, that's not the fans' fault. And more importantly, you already collected their money. So pay what you owe. You know what I'm saying? They paid you money to provide a service. Hence the reason why you have to pay business tax. So go ahead and provide the fucking service that you owe. That's your job. So get to it. So go and take a fucking shower, make yourself presentable, put on a shirt and a fucking tie and some pants, go to fucking work, and fucking do what you're paid to do. Bitch.
fuck you. Alright?
Fuck you.
Go to hell.
You too.
Get the fuck out.
Wow.
Fuck you.
And, I need to continue doing what I'm doing right now. Right now, I really need to focus on putting out quality stuff for you guys, being entertaining, raising funds, and keeping my house. And then when all that's settled, then I can play Super Mario Sunshine. I'll play through that. Nintendo will claim all my ad revenue on, right?
Time to grow the fuck up. Burn in hell, Burnell. And now I'm gonna burn in hell for the rest of eternity.
Probably.
Because of it. You can't change who you are, I guess.
Nope.
I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot.
Mm-hmm.
Phil's fat.
Yep.
Phil's a
That's
loser.
true.
Phil's a beggar.
I think so.
I have a micro penis.
I don't know shit about that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now that we've gone through that bit of entertainment, let's go ahead and step to our next video. But before we do that, how about we take a small GTG radio break? Let's just throw one song in there just to kind of lighten the mood before we get into Mr. Stuff's video. How about that? I think that'd be cool. And that video will be, it's Mr. Stuff's DSP Gaming Lady Friend, and we're gonna go over the redemption run, and we're gonna go in a little bit deeper than we did here. Okay, so we're gonna take a small break, and then I'll be right back. Yeah.
So, folks, yes, why am I streaming an hour earlier today? Why am I going to be streaming later tonight and, for the rest of the week? Well, reason being is because I'm going to take time off shortly. As you know, every couple months now I take a few days off. And recently I kind of revealed a little bit more about that time off. First of all, the time off is essential for me because, as you guys know, I'm here every single day. Unlike most other people who, work certain days and then get a few days off to recuperate, I don't get that. I'm here every single day live streaming for you guys.
But in truth, though, you get paid every day you do that. So, yeah, most people only work 5 days, maybe 6. But you work 7 days, but you get paid for 7 days. Shit, Phil, you get paid when you sleep. Most people don't. Just saying.
Which I don't mind, by the way. I love it. I love gameplay. I love, video game.
Oh, you mean like that Need for Speed playthrough you're doing? Yeah, I hear you love that a lot. It's going splendidly over there from what I've been told.
These are my hobby as well as my job. I love doing this. I love sharing my gameplay experiences with you guys daily. All right.
When you're not banning people off the chat or off the stream in general. Well, he can't. I'm sorry, he really can't ban you off the stream, but he can certainly ban you off the chat or out of the chat. He's doing a pretty good job of doing that, especially lately.
And I'm having a lot of fun, absolutely a lot of fun, with everything that's been going on this very busy gaming season of the year. All right, but I need time off to recuperate. I do talking every day for excess of 5 to 8 hours, depending on how much I actually stream. It hurts my throat. It hurts my voice. It wears me out.
Sounds to me like that begging's taking a toll on you.
Sitting around all day instead of actually getting, movement.
No one told you to sit on your ass and get gout. People told you to go outside and actually get some fucking exercise. You won't do it. You choose not to do it. Remember, you don't have time because you have to do it for the business. Are you going to actually try to take some advice and maybe go walking on your vacation? Of course you're not. I mean, unless you're going to the liquor store or going to buy decorations because if what I heard was true, shouts out to Dragon Killer. I don't want to go ahead and use the ornaments that me and Leanna had. I don't want to do that. I need brand new ornaments. I have to go out and buy brand new ornaments because I don't want to use the ones for my ex. Are you fucking serious? They're fucking ornaments. Who cares? I mean, maybe your girlfriend feels a certain type of way about it. Maybe she doesn't. They're fucking holiday ornaments. I mean, seriously. They're fucking holiday ornaments and shit. Just put them up. Or have you not gotten over your ex yet, Phil? I mean, I understand that you're trying to make a future with this this new lady friend of yours, but let's be honest. Either A, she's a rebound, or B, she's another source of revenue. I assume she's another source of revenue. So, just use the fucking ornaments because you don't have the money to spend anyway. At least so you say. DSP News.
Is not the best thing for me. And just having time to have my mind not completely focused on live streaming and gaming and the bills and the business and everything going on for a few days every couple months is a very healthy thing, all right? Now, recently I also revealed that these past couple times that I've actually been spending time away from live streaming, I've been spending time with my girlfriend. Now, that was a big revelation the other day. Most people didn't know that. But it is true that these times off that I've been taking, it's a good chunk of time for me to actually spend with my lady friend. And, that way it doesn't really interfere with work. It's kind of just a big chunk of time that I'm able to dedicate and spend with her. Although I don't get to spend every moment of it with her, it's still a good opportunity, all right? In fact,
yet again, okay, I don't want to continue this narrative because it's kind of been debunked as of this point on that the pictures that we've all seen are probably fake. If they're not, they're probably not Phil, and if they are Phil, it was Phil and possibly Leanna a long time ago. So that is what it is on that. Even though we do have, here at GTG, we do have somebody out there with Kevin from the mailroom. And by the way, Kevin got promoted out of the mailroom, by the way, who's out there still on the hunt. He hasn't reported in the last couple of days, though. I hope the two of you guys are all right. With that being said, it's been kind of debunked in the fact that picture is kind of, I guess that it might not be real. So it is on what it is on that. As for this new girlfriend, if she exists, and I say with a big if, she's merely there to fit into a narrative. She's really just another, you know, she's there to provide another source of revenue. Sorry, ad revenue. Another source of revenue, and that's it. He's really gonna just profit off her. When the big reveal happens, people are gonna have to pay for it. If you ever want to see her do a DSP tries it or be on a live stream or something, trust me, you'll pay for it. He's going to make sure he can squeeze as much money out of this girlfriend situation as he can. And that's all it really is. Same thing with the taxes. It doesn't, the more and more you get into it, the more and more it doesn't sound right. That's why it's taking this second video a little longer than I'd want it to, because the narrative just doesn't seem right. For example, June pointed out to me, actually this morning when I'm recording this, I got like a message from him last night, that it's very possible that the person who prepares Phil's taxes, and then he in Connecticut, he may have actually had to be referred to a tax attorney when this shit all hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible that there are actually two separate people in, there's actually possibly two separate people in Connecticut that he's actually dealing with instead of one. It's very possible. You know what I mean? It's very, very possible. And yet again, he's overblowing the actual situation in itself to prosper. You know what I mean? It's very possible that he had someone that was preparing his taxes. Something went awry. He was referred to a tax attorney in the same state. He told him what the truth was, or he at least elaborated on what his situation was. Phil panicked, ended up having to get another tax attorney where he's at in Washington State, and then he just blew the whole situation up into the clusterfuck that it's in. Now, granted, that's not exactly what Doom said. I kind of went ahead and threw my own little twist in there, but you kind of get my drift. So there you go on that. A lot of this doesn't even sound right. For example, how are you setting, allegedly, he's setting an amount from $5,000 up to allegedly $40,000. 40K. 40 of them things. 40 racks. And you don't even know how much you owe. But he can throw all these different narratives at you. Oh, I have to pay my tax attorney in Washington State. I have to pay back taxes. I have to pay my taxes for the year. I have to, what else did he say? He said there was somebody else that he said he had to pay. And then there was something else for him to allegedly be in the clear. You know what I mean? So how are you trying to raise all this money and you don't even know how much you really need to raise? Like, how are you doing that? How is that possible? How is that even plausible? You know what I mean? And yet people are just shelling money out to him. And some people believe, especially if, I'll try to put that in the video. I know in my last video, or my last two videos, I had put it up. Eddie came up with the financial reports because, you know, he's reliable for that. Shouts out to Eddie. And he's made quite a bit of money. He's made quite a bit of money. So, in theory, is it the 40K? No. Is it the 5K? Yeah, he's made that. He's made that easy. So why are you trying to push this whole stretch goal bullshit? Why do you need that $2,000 so damn badly? Is it because you're just being greedy? Is it because the tax situation, if he really has one, isn't as bad as he says it is? Is it possible that he's trying to milk the situation for as much as he can to try to give himself some wiggle room throughout the 2018? What is it? Because it's certainly something. We just don't know what.
This coming time off that I'm going to be taking, starting on December 6th, we're going to be doing all kinds of fun holiday-themed stuff. We're going to be going out and, first of all, decorating the house, putting up the Christmas tree, putting up all my Christmas decorations. We're going to be doing some Christmas baking and stuff like that together.
That's funny, too. Why didn't you do any of those? Well, he did the decorations with Leanna. But why you didn't do any Christmas baking with her? I mean, she did all the baking and you just sat on your ass and ate it. But now you want to do it together with this chick? So, don't be wrong. I understand when you leave one relationship and you start another one, you want to be better than you were in your previous relationship. I get that. But is this also supposed to be a slight at Panda too? Like, I like, because Phil's petty like that. You know what I mean? Phil is very, very petty. So, is it possible that he's just taking, this is supposed to be another shot at Leanna? Is it possible that he found out that Leanna is actually pretty happy with Tyrone you know, back wherever they're at. And shouts out to Tyrone. And apparently, you know, now all of a sudden this mystery girlfriend comes out of nowhere who's been around for a couple months, but he didn't want to say anything. She had to be a little secret. Like, it's very, very interesting on how stuff works with Phil. Because remember, he always reacts to stuff that happens around him. And I'm sure he's been trying to keep tabs on her, or they've been in contact with each other. Which went into a question that I had asked you guys last video, I think. Or it might have been the video before. Whereas, if you think about it, Leanna's the keeper is the gatekeeper. She holds all of the dirty secrets. She has the greatest wealth of knowledge, for the most part. Because she was there firsthand. She had to deal with it. Why didn't she ever put him out there? Now, I'm going to take a few minutes to go ahead and go over that. But, nah, maybe I'll wait till the end of the video. Yeah. No, we'll do it now. Fuck it. We'll do it now. This video's already going to run long anyway. So, I'd ask you guys, why did you guys think that Leanna never came out and kind of threw him under the bus? And kind of exposed all the dirty little secrets and all the bullshit practices and what really goes on behind the scenes. And a lot of you guys had some good ones. One of you, or a few of you actually, said that it's very possible because of Phil's AdSense situation with having people click on those ads back in the day. He had to actually put the account, DsPgaming, in Leanna's name, essentially, so he could get his money out of it. It's very possible that she may still hold, they may have split the proceeds, and they do that up till this day. You know what I mean? So, it's like hush money. Essentially, that's what's keeping her quiet. Some of you say the reason why is he may have actually bought her a car and whatnot. And and he used that to kind of pay her off and to kind of keep her quiet. Another one of you, I think you meant this as a joke, but it was funny nonetheless. One of you said that it's actually Leanna that lives in that condo back in Connecticut. That's so hilarious. I don't think she lived there, but it's funny. It's still very funny. What's another one that you guys had? Because you guys had some pretty good ones. One of you guys said that she was probably that she was probably getting monthly payouts, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. There was a couple of good ones. I'll say that. There were certainly a couple of good suggestions brought out on why she never let the cat out of the bag on him and whatnot. She's kept her silence and stayed loyal about it, so to speak. But the thing is, let's say he is paying her off in some way, shape, or form. I hope the new girlfriend who's about to walk into the picture, I hope she considers doing the same thing. Pay attention to what Panda Lee is doing, whatever she may be doing. It might be worthwhile in the later on down the line. I'm just saying. Goddamn, I gotta make this cappuccino. DSP News.
I'll be heading out and looking for some shopping for shitty Christmas sweaters and holiday-themed liquor for my upcoming holiday gaming marathon, amongst many other things. There's actually we have a big list of stuff that we want to do during this, time period. All right. What are you people talking about? I said lady friend, and now people are like, oh, so she's not your girlfriend? Yes, she is, stupid. Oh my god. People will literally take anything I say and twist it into something dramatic. Guys, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. If you want to be a viewer of mine, you want to be a fan of mine, you're going to cut that shit out. Because I'm not 16, like many of you, I guess, or at least your mindset mentalities. Because I said lady friend does not mean anything. It was just a different way to say girlfriend, all right?
Maybe so, but you live your life out in the open, which means that, which means you put yourself in a position where people can critique everything that you say. So you know that you should be careful of what you say because of the fact that people will spin it. Not only the people who watch your videos, but the people who are actually in the chat itself. You should be smart enough to realize that. Second thing, and something that people haven't really been pointing out, at least a few people have, but not everybody. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, Phil, you bore me sometimes. But you and your lady friend have to do all this running around. You got to buy all this stuff. You have to do this, that, and the third. Where's the money for all that coming from, Phil? I'm just saying, you're trying to save the house, right? And you've got quite a bit of money in donations and so on and so forth over the last week or so, you know, since you've unveiled all these things with your tax problem and the girlfriend and all that and this, that, and the third. So what money do you have to spend to go and do these things? And then to take her out, because let's be honest, you don't cook. And the fact that you did say that she's tried your sauce before and she's still alive surprises me greatly. So, I mean, you guys are gonna... What's gonna happen, Phil? You're gonna be smart and buy some new sheets, right? So you gotta do that. And, you know, when she's there, she's gonna want to eat, I would think. I would hope. So you're gonna have to go out and buy that. And then it's the holiday season, and you're gonna buy her gifts, right? Because she is your girlfriend, right? Girlfriend. So, you know, you have to do that, right? Okay. And then, you know, you got to go out and buy holiday drinks, and you have to buy ornaments because, you know, you don't want to be tainted by the other ones. And this, that, and the third. And, you know, like most women, they see nice stuff out there as it pertains to decorations and stuff. So they may want you to buy certain things, you know, to kind of celebrate you guys as a relationship. This, that, and the third. The point is, Phil, there's going to be a lot of money being spent. Where's that money going to come from exactly? Are we going to dip into the DSP Save My House Foundation fundraiser to get that money out? Because wouldn't that be considered a misappropriation of funds? I mean, the money that's been given to you is to save your house, not for you to go out and use recreationally. I'm just curious. I just want to know. I'd like to know that the people who gave you their hard-earned money, that money was being used for what it said it was being used for. I just thought I'd ask. And if you're a DSP supporter, you should probably ask too. DSP News.
Jesus Christ. Already people that you oh, so lady friend, so he's been friend zoned. That means she's not his girlfriend, right? Oh my god. What the fuck? Alright? The big goal. This is pretty much the most requested Patreon goal I've ever had in the history of me doing Patreon. It was 1 year ago, ladies and gentlemen, when I announced, out of the blue, people didn't expect it, the Dark Souls Redemption Run. And the way it worked is that people pledged to Patreon to see me do this, and I did a full run-through of Dark Souls, direct capture, right? Playing it now with all the knowledge that I had accumulated over the years of playing the From Software games. And yes, there was some stream chat interaction as well, because guess what? I'm primarily a live streamer now. That's what live streamers do. They interact with their audience, right?
I don't know if interacting with the audience means that I just look down at whenever I'm being tipped or given donations or someone subs, says thank you to that, and then just looks mindlessly at the screen. That's not necessarily interaction, to be honest. If you mean interaction as in you look down and you ask people to help you with certain stuff, I mean, if you say so. But even then, that's not really interaction either, so to speak. I mean, I guess everybody looks at it differently. So, how about you go ahead and expand on that just a little bit? Because, in truth, as a live streamer, you're terrible. You're a terrible live streamer. Like I said, unless someone's giving you money or helping you out with a certain part of the game, that's it. Actually, someone had pointed out something interesting in, I cannot remember what game you were playing, to be honest with you, TBH. But, you were trying to, like, turn off the notifications. I think it was on Xbox One. And you were trying to turn off the notifications, and you couldn't figure it out. So you held your live stream hostage for 10 minutes. Actually, it might have been longer than that. But we'll say 10 minutes until someone could help you figure out how to shut off notifications so people wouldn't send you messages. Is that you being a live streamer, Phil? Is that you spinning the narrative? Is that you, you know, bringing content, quality content to your audience? I'm just asking. You know, being that Meat Mills is in jail right now, or prison, you know, someone needs to come around, needs to probably take his place and be like, I just want to know. So, I just want to know. DSP News.
I'm not an isolated YouTuber anymore where I pretend like I'm in a fucking isolation booth playing video games. That's not fun anymore. Now it's the new style, alright?
Well, in truth, the new style for you is like the old style for everybody from like 5 years ago. Just saying.
And I did this redemption run of Dark Souls. And people liked it. Except for a few idiots who quite literally were so salty that I'm much better at Dark Souls now, even though I died at you.
Here's the thing. How is it that everybody that critiques you, even in the slightest, not even detractors, but just in the slightest, are idiots? Why can people not have a constructive thought about you? Why is that such a taboo almost? It's like a taboo. Why is that? Why isn't there free speech in your chat? If it isn't, like I said, if it isn't about the Nazis or about porn, it really doesn't fly. Or at least sucking your e-dick, it doesn't fly at all. Why is that? And how do you expect to bring new people in and keep them there under those circumstances? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And actually, another thing too, by the way, Phil, just a friendly piece of advice. Turn the comments back on your gaming channel. The reason why your gaming channel is dying out, DSP Gaming, is because you need the chat. You need the interaction. You know what I'm saying? You do need that. Because it counts as engagement. And you need the engagement currently. Even if you're going to turn it into an archive channel, you're still getting paid for that channel when you sleep. So either just live stream everything and don't put anything out on DSP Gaming, or turn the fucking comments back on. Because you yourself don't even care about DSP Gaming like that, really. You just upload stuff to it and you automatically expect it to get demonetized. So why not at least try to increase the engagement? Or are you so limp that your ego just won't let you? Because you're just so scared of what people are going to say. Just a piece of advice. DSP News.
Million times, because I was trying very difficult stuff and everything in the playthrough. People were so salty that I'm not absolutely horrendous at the game anymore that they had to make up blatant lies about how every 5 seconds I was using the stream chat to tell me what to do. Stupid idiots, you know. People with fucking little limp dicks. So...
Oh, that's a pretty funny coincidence on that one.
Jealous that I would actually do a redemption run of a game and people would actually turn out and love it. Because it did. It was actually the redemption run, alright? The redemption run of Dark Souls last year was one of my most popular events. I say last year, even like we're in 2018 already. We're not. It was January of this year, but it was one of the most popular events I've ever done, alright? Now, as soon as I started to do that playthrough, alright, immediately, once that happened, I got contacted by not even dozens, hundreds of people. Are you going to play Metal Gear Solid again? Phil, are you going to do Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid? Now, you may ask, well, why are people so eager for that? If you're not a longtime viewer of mine, you might not understand. All right, so allow me to explain. Over the years, ladies and gentlemen, there were 2 series that basically got my go. 2 series that beat me, that bested me, all right? Those series were Dark Souls and Metal Gear Solid. Dark Souls, infamously a playthrough I played when the game was new. I didn't have a strategy guide. At that point, there weren't wiki.
Well, wait a second. Trust me, there's been plenty of games that beat you, as well as plenty of players that have beat you. So, let's be honest. It's just not Metal Gear. It's just the fact that you're mad people have profited off your Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 gameplays. That's what you're mad about.
He's all over the fucking internet explaining how to play the game. And it beat me and I quit. And I never played it again until later on, years later. I adopted direct capture and live streaming. Went back and kind of had a guided tour of the game. And then it wasn't until January of this year where I kind of legitimately beat the game myself. Alright? Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 are games that when I first played them, I had never played them before. In fact, I never had any exposure to them. I had never seen them. I knew that they were games that were held in high esteem and high regard, but I didn't really know much about them, alright? I played them at first in the HD collection that released for PlayStation 3. So, here I am. Now, keep in mind, this was, what, 2011? This was me back when, way back when I didn't have much respect for the games that I played. I didn't try to play them seriously. In a lot of cases, it was me just fucking around, okay, being an asshole, a lot of the times not paying any attention to what was going on in the game, not actively actually trying to learn how to play the game, just flubbing my way through stuff. And you know, that was kind of my gimmick for a while, is Phil is a common guy who just doesn't give a shit, and he's just dicking around with these games, he's not too serious about it. Then over the years, things evolved, and people wanted to see me be more serious, and I ended up getting a lot better at the games that I played, and now my playthroughs, quite honestly, in a lot of ways, are a lot more high quality. You know, there's some examples against that, like Need for Speed Payback, where the game just fucking sucks and I don't care about it and I don't want to play it in the way that they want me to do, and grind to fucking upgrade cars and do loot boxes and shit, fucking idiots. But for the most part, my gameplay today is way, way higher quality than it used to be. Okay.
Really? How many games have you quit since the Metal Gear Solid games? You quit quite a few games since then, right? Okay, so that kind of debunks that aspect of it. All right, so what else? You said things are higher quality. How so? Please explain, because I don't really see it. I don't think anybody does. There is no commentary, basically. It's pretty much non-existent. You bitch and complain more about the game mechanics itself and what's going on in your chat more than anything else. You've been known for literally pausing the game and looking at the chat. You've been known for yawning. You've been known for being just very unenthusiastic about your gameplays in general. What exactly about the quality of gameplay is there? You're still fucking shoveling out, 100 parts to a playthrough, which is still unnecessary, and it doesn't work. So why do you keep doing it? You don't edit. I don't edit either, but, I don't have to edit. I was talking. But you probably should edit at least some of this. You don't. So, what is it exactly? Tell me something that makes this actually better in some way, shape, or form. You spend more time complaining about money, the haters, and the people in your chat more than anything else. More than you even play the game at times. So where's this up in quality? Just curious.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the way this is going to work, let me explain. I'm going to lay the ground rules out for you. This is a two-tiered goal. And I haven't done a two-tiered or multi-tiered goal on Patreon in a long time. The purpose of this, folks, is to raise money, because right now I'm in a really bad place. By the end of January, I need to raise enough funds, okay, not only to pay off my 2017 business taxes that I'm going to owe, now that apparently I owe them, now that I know this, which I never knew before. I also am going to have to pay my tax attorney for doing all this work for me over the past couple of months and trying to sort this out with Washington State taxes. And also, I'm going to have to apparently...
Here's the thing. I'm not even trying to be an asshole, but I'm curious. If he's registered as a business in Washington, because I assume he has to now if he's paying taxes, shouldn't there be some type of paper trail with this? Shouldn't there be somewhere somebody could go and look up that, hey, this right here is registered as a business? I'm not saying that you would be able to get the financials, which is unnecessary anyway. But if Phil is paying a business tax, that means he has to be registered somewhere, right? That means there has to be something on paper somewhere on some website, which would be considered public knowledge, that, hey, this man right here is registered as a business. Yes? The reason why I say that, I'm not asking anybody to look, so don't get me wrong. I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is if any of this is true, there should be a paper trail, yes? There should be something on paper with his name on it saying that Philip Burnell is the proprietor and owner of such and such business. Right? No? Something, yeah? I'm just curious. Because, in another side note, his degree is being called into question too. I'll see if I can actually find that for you, because someone said that to me, which is already amazing in itself. And I'm not saying that it's fraudulent. No one's saying that it's, well, a lot of people are saying that it's fraudulent, or at least it doesn't seem right. But, especially the year that was given, because he said he was valedictorian and he wasn't. Anyway, that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that somewhere down the line there's a paper trail. There's a piece of paper out there, or there's a website that has his name up there saying that he is a business somewhere in Washington State. So in turn, for all of this to be true, that he owes X amount in taxes and this, that, and the third, there has to be something with his name on it, yeah? I'm just throwing that out there. I don't want anybody to look. I'm just saying, this is me just coming off the cuff. That makes sense, yes? No? I mean, it makes sense, right? Just asking.
either do a lump sum payment or to start on a payment plan for back taxes that apparently I owe, which I didn't know until 2 months ago because it's all my old tax attorney's fault for being a fucking piece of shit. So that being said, I'm in a bad way financially. I want to keep my house.
You're always in a bad way financially, Phil. It's always something with you, man. You're always broke. You never have money for this, that, and the third. You're barely paying your bills. You're barely making it month to month. You're always afraid of getting a fucking overdraft on some bullshit. You know what I mean? But you're always out there buying stuff. You won't cook. You barely cook. It's DSP tries it at least 4 days a week. You're always buying something. You know what I'm saying? You're always saying you need to replace something because you can't fix shit because you're not savvy in anything. I mean, you're always in need of money, Phil. Always. You will always be dependent on someone else for the rest of your fucking life, which is a shame, to be honest with you, because you're dependent on people that you don't really know. If you think about it, if you really, really think about it, and this is for people who are fans of his, former or otherwise, he didn't really know any of you. He doesn't really know any of you. And yet, you guys give him money without regard. But since he doesn't know anything about you, he doesn't have to care about you. He doesn't have to look at you guys with any type of real worth outside of what you give him. Outside of that, he doesn't care. So, though you're invested in him, he's not invested in you. How is this hard to figure out? And in turn, it's the reason why he treats his fan base the way he does. He doesn't give a shit about you guys. Actually, as I was continuing to do the research on that whole Brightside Viking and his stupid shit on Twitter, he said on the forums, because that forum got taken down too, by the way, where they were trying to talk about what he did and how Brightside Viking could justify it. Someone called him out and was like, "Hey man, what do you think Phil's gonna feel like when he finds out what you said and what you did?" And he said, "Oh, Phil needs me. He won't get rid of me." And you know what the interesting part about that is? He's right. He's right. Phil won't get rid of him because Brightside Viking has made himself invaluable in a lot of ways. He's the one who gives up probably the most amount of money out of everybody. So why would you get rid of somebody who gives you pretty much all of his money? Doesn't make much sense. But for the rest of you, you guys can't really afford to do that. Hell, he can barely afford to do it, but you guys can't afford to do that. And that's why you guys aren't worth anything. You'll have to wake up one day. DSP News.
All right. I don't want to have to sell my house and either move to a small apartment or move back across the country to Connecticut, which would completely fuck me over. It would fuck the business over. It would fuck everything over. All right? All the hard work I've done over the years to get where I am, busting my ass, that would be giving up and basically throwing in the towel of defeat.
Well, you're a quitter anyway, Phil. So what's the difference? You quitting a video game, is you quitting a video game the equivalent of you quitting your life in Seattle and moving back to Connecticut? Not necessarily. But then again, you quit quite a few games. Quite a few easy games at that. So, I don't know. I know, apples and oranges, all shapes and sizes, I guess, right?
Bullshit was something that I didn't do, alright? So, this is a major fundraising effort, make no mistake, okay? Now, if we hit the normal goal, which is the $1,125, alright, on Patreon, really it translates to about $1,250 for me, FYI, but because Patreon is all screwed up and everything with the public-facing number, I just leave it at $1,125. That's what it shows, even though I get more than that. I know that sounds stupid, but that's how it works. If we just hit that goal, what'll happen is people who pledge $5 or more during the month of December to my Patreon will be voting. Do you want to see a redemption run of Metal Gear Solid 2 or Metal Gear Solid 3?
Here's another thing, too. I'm not trying to help Phil out, but mine as well. Instead of people being allowed to vote from the $5 standpoint, either he should up it to $10. $10 allows you to vote on, whatever the game is of choice. And I mean, I'm talking about from here on out. He might as well just up it to 10. He might as well. Because obviously $5 isn't working, and more importantly than that, most of the $5 donators get thrown off by the wayside anyway. So, in truth, he should just up it to $10. Because in $10, if you can put, if you throw $10 at somebody, and what you say or your opinion doesn't matter, you should probably just leave. $5, anybody can kind of toss away the equivalent of a Subway sandwich. But for $10 though, if your opinion is not taken into any real consideration, you should probably leave. You probably should go ahead and get out of there, because your time's probably being wasted. Just my opinion, of course, though. DSP News.
And once the vote's over, which should probably take about a week to 2 weeks tops, I'm going to start those redemption runs. All right? So whatever wins the poll will be a major redemption run in early January. What I'm hoping is that within the first week of January, we can get the poll going, and within a week it could be done, and then we can, boom, start the playthrough. Now, here is the thing, folks. Here is the thing. If we reach the stretch goal, what is the stretch goal? $2,000. Why is it so much? Because I need the money. That's why. I really need the money.
You always really need the money
to keep this house. And if we hit that goal, that would be a significant increased amount of funds raised to help me out with this issue right now, okay? If we hit the stretch goal during this month, I'll be playing both. You won't even need to vote. In which case, if that's the case, think about that. If we hit the stretch goal, there's no wait. As soon as January starts, I can start playing these games immediately. There wouldn't be a wait for people to vote of a week. If we hit the stretch goal, boom. January starts, I start with Metal Gear Solid 2. And I play that, and then when that's done, boom, Metal Gear Solid 3. Okay? So there you go. There you go. I hope, folks, that we hit the goal. At least the primary goal. I honestly hope we hit the stretch goal, because if we hit the stretch goal, it's the ideal situation. Not only am I doing redemption runs of both games that infamously I did absolutely horribly in during my first runs, right? But also, I'll be getting the money to help me out in the situation, and I'll be playing right away in early January, right? So it's like the best of all worlds, okay? And some people may not understand, and I get that. Some people, I don't understand. Why is this such a big deal? Why does Phil think this is a good goal? Well, guys, you got to realize something. At one point on YouTube, I was the bee's knees. I was the biggest...
Let me shut him up there for a minute, ladies and gentlemen, because that's just getting on my nerves. First things first, it's not just the $2,000, okay? The stretch goal for fundraising. Once the stream happens, once he does both of these games, he's going to expect you guys to throw more money at him. Tips, bits, subbing, donations, so on and so forth. And these would be 2 long walkthroughs. He's expecting to milk this for everything it's worth. And he'll be able to do it back to back. So with that being said, he's going to try to maximize the most money out of these 2 playthroughs as best as possible. That's why he wants you guys to hit the goal. That's why he wants the 2,000, because he'll make way more than that afterwards. Everybody, because he'll just keep talking about how, yeah, these guys did this to me, and this is how you don't play has ruined my life, and they damn near ruined my business, and so on and so forth, which just drums up more sympathy, so more money is thrown at him during the streams. He's going to get paid essentially 3 times for this. And that's what he's hoping for. That's why he wants to play both games. But he wants to make sure you guys pay him for it, though. You have to pay him for him to play both of those games. And he will maximize the most money in the most time that he can out of it to do so. And then let's also be honest, ladies and gentlemen, he'll get paid possibly in a 4th way, because people will make "This Is How You Don't" plays on him. They will. And in turn, he'll turn around and be like, look at him. Phil will be like, oh, look, see, they're making fun of me again. See, look at them, they're coming back down on me again. Look, oh, they're just doing crazy edits to make me look bad, even though the actual playthrough wasn't bad. Go and watch the playthroughs. Go and watch the playthroughs. They really weren't that bad. They weren't that terrible. They did it they edited that way on purpose. Please go and watch my playthroughs. Please support the videos on YouTube. I guarantee you that's what it is. But yet again, that's just my opinion. DSP News.
Gamer, or at least known as the common gamer, and I was very white hot popular. And then what happened is, I mean, honestly, I played Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, and I didn't pay any attention to the games. Like I said, I flubbed through them, and the problem was those games have such a rabid, hardcore fucking fan base. The people worship fucking Hideo Kojima and think that these games are some of the best fabricated fucking video games ever made, and the fact that I didn't pay them the due respect that they were due, right? And I was joking during the playthroughs about Kojima sucking and being a perv and stuff like that. Oh my god, that was it. People made "this is how you don't play" videos. They made slanderous videos about me, negative comments up the wazoo. This literally was the beginning of the huge negative movement about me on YouTube. Okay? It was. Make no mistake about it. This was 100%. Alright? 100%. This was what made the negative movement about me on YouTube. Because these playthroughs, when I first played them, weren't very good. Alright? And people just didn't like that. Oh my god, Phil played this game series that a group of rabid, you know, fanboys defend tooth and nail, and how dare he, and that's what started it all. And then once people started making negative videos about my Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 playthroughs, then they realized, oh shit, these actually got popularity. Then they started doing it for every single playthrough I did, and that's how the whole movement started.
Now, he's not being completely honest. He's leaving out the fact that he talked massive shit about the game, about his fan base, about the creator. Also, he can say it was a joke all he wants, just like that whole Blip TV nonsense and any other playthrough after that where he was trying to make jokes terribly at that fact. But that's what really ended up getting him hated, especially how he responded to comments on his videos back in those days. Because, you know, back in those days he wasn't a bitch. I was going to say coward, but he's too busy on Twitter calling us cowards, saying that all these people who are attacking him over the Mario Sunshine thing are cowards that are sitting behind their computer, so on and so forth, yada, yada, yada. And he says something about the last time he was confronted in real life, he hid in the bathroom for like 4 hours. I don't know. I'll try to put that on screen. But, shouts out to Dragon Killer. But, yeah, that's what really ended up getting a lot of this hatred going, is the fact of how he treated the Metal Gear Solid community, essentially. How he used his shitty gameplays as a way to say fuck you to them and fuck them to their game. It's the disrespect that he showed, not only to the community, not only to the creator, but how he created, but to other players, is what ended up getting his ass in the position that he's in now. Just saying. He can spin the narrative all he wants, but that's really what the situation is. DSP News.
And now here we are in 2017, and honestly, let's face it here, folks. This is how you don't play isn't super popular anymore. It died out. You know, yeah, there's still people who do them, and quite honestly, the videos don't even get nearly as many views as my actual playthroughs. You know.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure they get more than 400 or 500 views. I'm actually pretty confident that they do. You forgot how to count, Phil? Come on, man. You count money all day. You count the cheers, tips, bits, and donations all day. You can't count views, Phil? All right. I'm just asking. I'm gonna send you a link, Phil, to Eddie's channel, and he'll help you count. He's great at numbers, so I'm gonna have him help you count. Wait a second. You used to be a fan of Sesame Street, right, Phil? I'll see if I can send you some Sesame Street stuff. I'll strictly from GTG network. I'll try to broadcast some Sesame Street for you. It'll be great. It'll help you count. You need that in your life, Phil. You need that. I'm gonna try to do that for you.
It's just, at this point, there's very few people who actually do what anyone cares about. It's a small group of circle-jerking idiots, right? Who still care about these stupid videos. But the bottom line is, I mean, Redemption worked out pretty well for me with Dark Souls 1, and this is something people want to see.
How about you do, actually, Phil, as I'm looking at my computer screen, because I'm going to look up some comments in a minute, how about you do a Redemption run of that World of Warcraft playthrough you were supposed to do online, that World of Warcraft stream? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do a Redemption run of that? How about that, Phil? You remember that, right? You got that 1250, you got trolled, instead of going with the trolls and just, you know, just entertaining it and being like, hey guys, I wanted to play this, but I'm getting trolled and whatnot, but I'm going to stick in here for the time that I said I would, because guess what? I owe it to you because you guys paid me. But no, what'd you do? You ended up rage quitting it after you got trolled a couple times. Minor trolling at that. It wasn't anything super serious. You know what I'm saying? They just danced around him. Shit was hilarious, actually. And then you play it offline. What's the fun in that? Why don't you do a redemption run of that, Phil? How about that? That'd be great. That would be great. Or you could go back to your Street Fighter 4 days and play that. Or you could do Street Fighter 5. Or you could do Injustice. You could play those. Have a weekend, do weekend streams of those games. Just some suggestions, though. Just some suggestions.
All right. This is something that I waited for a long time. All right, so, yes, folks, let's do it. I mean, seriously, do you want to see me play MGS2 and 3 back-to-back in January, an amazing month of me redeeming myself in these games? You know it'll be white hot in the stream. You're going to have trolls coming in and slamming. You're going to have people, fans coming in. It's going to be wars in the stream chat. It's going to be crazy zaniness just like it was with Dark Souls last year, right?
First things first. As it pertains to that war on stream, or in the stream chat, he's not going to do that. He should do it. He should allow that to happen. One, it's going to get boring fast, to be honest with you. Only a couple of streams will be like that, and the rest of the time it'll be total silence. He should do it, but he won't, because one of the trolls or detractors will cut in a little too deep and whatnot, and then that's when you'll see the moderators start to get butthurt, and then they just start banning. Even if Phil tells them not to, one of them will one of the detractors or haters will cut real deep to the wick, and they'll be like, no, I gotta ban this person. I'm sorry, Phil. I had to ban him. I had to ban him. I didn't like what he was saying. What he was saying was wrong. I had to ban him. And then that kills everything. So unless Phil can give you his solemn word, first off, Phil should unban everybody who he's banned this year. Do that. Second thing, make sure that your moderators know that no one gets banned during these streams. Anybody can come in and say whatever the fuck they want. They can meme it up. Why am I toxic? They can meme up whatever the fuck they want to say and just allow it to go. And then it might be interesting. It might be interesting. It could be. But Phil won't do that. He's too sensitive. So because of that, it's not going to be nearly as entertaining as he's saying. But I could be wrong. I certainly could be wrong, but I doubt it. Do you think Phil's brave enough to let people that he knows who hate him come into his chat and say whatever the fuck they want? Do you really see Phil doing that? I don't think, me neither. But we'll see. It is the holiday season. Maybe Phil will give us the benefit of the doubt, but I doubt it.
It's gonna be sweet, man. It is. It's gonna be sweet. And like I said, seriously, I need the help because right now I need to be able to stay in this house. So that would be a pretty awesome month. I'm pretty sure that if I did those streams, right, let's say for 2-3 weeks it was just me doing MGS, I'm pretty sure that would bring out people to support me too, you know, on the streams and help out with the situation. So I think this is great. All right. So let's focus on it. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see how it goes. I really, 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 really need your support right now, folks. All right. So if you want to see me be successful, all I can say is pledge to Patreon this month. Let's get this going. Let's hit that goal. Let's do both games, right? Seriously. Let's do this shit. Okay. Now, that's the big patron goal this month. That was the big thing I wanted to really announce because it is the first time I'm talking about it, you know. Hopefully now the word will get out. Of course, you got the salty idiots who don't like me. The dead idea. Fuck you. No, really, and I mean it. There's people out there who no matter what I do, they want to say it's a terrible idea, and fuck you. Listen, I need the support right now. I know that those people who followed me for a long time want to see this. It's been something that's been requested over the years, over and over and over, and now I'm finally doing it. So, enough of the whiny little bitches. Let's just get this shit going. That's what I'm talking about, son. Okay. Yolo Dauber asks, when will we see a redemption run with Bloodborne? Good question. Because I can tell you this, folks. I definitely want to do a redemption run of Bloodborne in 2018. What I want to do is do a full run through the game, only this time I'm not going to grind off camera. What you see is what you get. What I play in the game will be the only thing I play in the game. I will not be grinding at all. And yes, I want to do the whole Old Hunters DLC at the proper level, not New Game Plus, like the idiots who told me to fucking do it the first time and ruin the entire playthrough for everybody. I'll be doing it at the regular level, alright, during the course of the playthrough. When? More than likely, I'm thinking probably the summer. I'll be honest, folks, 2017 was a year where I got Dark Souled out. Alright? Dark Souls Redemption run in January. Neo came out in February. The Dark Souls 3 DLC came out in March. Then I did a Dark Souls 2 Redemption, well, that wasn't really a Redemption run. It was a Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin run in July. I'm tired of Dark Souls. I really, at this point, I love the series. I have no desire to play it right now. Even if I wasn't planning on doing Metal Gear Solid and all this in January, I still probably would not be doing Dark Souls.
But I thought you had such a great time with it. I thought, you know, everybody came out in droves. What I think happened was the views weren't great for it. And I'm sure he got some pretty good money for it on stream, but the views weren't great. It wasn't what he thought it would be. So he just chose. That's why he's choosing not to do it. That's just my opinion, of course.
Or excuse me, Bloodborne in January. I have no desire to play it right now. All right. I will probably be playing it during the summer. That will be my major summer project, is getting through Bloodborne again and doing this, you know, the DLC that I never really, you know, properly did. Okay. Shout out to Monique the Third, who did a 101-bit cheer and became this cheerleader for today's stream. Thank you, Monique the Third, for that. I appreciate that. Golden Colts did a 100-bit cheer. He says Phil is playing 4000D chess. And I think he's in regards to the fact that I'm going to be doing, or at least attempting to do redemption runs of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. He's basically saying I'm playing a very, very high-stakes, you know, big, complicated game. But hey, I hope it works, because I'm telling you,
Well, actually, shouts out. I mean, I guess you should give Golden Colts some credit here. Phil is making quite a gamble on this game, on these games. If this, let's say they do hit the Patreon goal, $2,000, essentially you're paying $1,000 each to see Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 be played. Okay, he is making quite the gamble, because in truth, if these walkthroughs come out to be total garbage, they come out to be complete and utter trash. And if they actually end up eventually mirroring what happened to him, you know, their original playthroughs a couple years ago, he's probably going to be done from a YouTube standpoint. No one will ever really trust him with a redemption run after this, I should say. So really more of a Patreon run, I should say. So I hope he really plans to put his best foot forward if he really decides to do this. If not, he's going to really fuck it up for himself. I'm not saying he's going to be done with YouTube or he's going to be done with streaming, but people are definitely going to be wary about putting money on his Patreon goal. People already are. But we'll get to that at the end of the segment.
folks, this is no exaggeration and no lie. This month in particular, December, anything that you guys can contribute via tips, via Patreon, via Teespring, this is when I need your support the most. Because I want to keep this house. You know, I don't want to have to move. Because of the mistake of a fucking asshole in Connecticut who just wanted to take a paycheck and not do his fucking job.
Okay, no, actually, let me go ahead and... I said I was going to bring this back up. So I'm actually looking at what Doom said earlier on. Now, this is what Doom says as it pertains to this whole tax situation. What he thinks had happened was the tax attorney, which is actually Phil's tax accountant, when Phil, which is actually a tax accountant, by the way, when Phil contacted him about this whole back tax situation, the accountant correctly told Phil, gave him really good advice, and was like, hey, you should contact a tax attorney in your current state, in Washington State. And what Phil did is he spun the story to turn the guy in Connecticut, who's just an accountant, into an attorney, put the blame squarely on him, and then goes on with the narrative. Now, here's the problem with that. Phil, now this is why people are wondering if the story's true or not. Phil may owe some back taxes. It's very possible that he does. He just doesn't owe as much as he's saying. But then again, he doesn't even know how much he owes. Another thing is throwing the guy in Connecticut under the bus, yet again, works for his narrative. And hence the reason why he wants to keep his house in Washington. Hence the reason why he doesn't want to go back. You know what I mean? oh, well, look at what this guy in Connecticut did to me. Look how he screwed me over. Why would I want to go back there? You know what I mean? This guy in Washington is helping me straighten this stuff out with the state of Washington. I want to stay here. I've built a new life for myself here. I don't want to go back to Connecticut because look at this. Another person in Connecticut who's scorned me. There you go. So, shouts out to Doom on that.
And I don't have the money or the means to sue him. So, I got to find a way to get around this. And it's going to be stuff like this, doing special events.
And yet again, if someone royally fucked you over when you moved to a state and that had a business tax and they didn't tell you, and you went 3 years without paying, and you really legitimately didn't know, excuse me, wouldn't you want that person to take some responsibility? Like, hey man, you should have told me about this. I trusted you with my taxes. You told me that you could still be my tax accountant while I'm over here, and you didn't tell me about the state tax. Wouldn't you want some type of not retribution, but reparations? Wouldn't you want some type of compensation for the trouble? Yes, you would. Of course, anybody would. But Phil doesn't. Phil said that early, too. Phil said it early that I'm not going to be able to sue him. I'm not going to be able to do this, that, and the third, so you guys need to give me money. That doesn't sound suspicious at all? That doesn't sound weird that someone has royally fucked you and you don't want any type of, in that case, you don't want any retribution? Okay. And he loves money. So the chances are, if this was all true, he could really get some good money out of this guy. He could get all of his court fees and everything taken care of. He could get all the back taxes paid for. He could get the current year's taxes paid for. Plus, he probably could get, inconvenience, pain, and suffering. Probably. Doubt it, but still. But Phil won't go for it. Because Phil never understood the concept of, spending money to make money. Or maybe it's just a lie. Just my opinion.
And the fundraising, coming up, I may do some special streams where I try to do some fundraising as well. We have to see how the month goes, but I'm really hoping that we can get out of this situation, okay?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of that. So, this has been a long one. I gotta say, one of the longer ones that I've done. But, I really wanted to make sure I covered this so we kind of have the full story. Phil goes on vacation soon. So, excuse me. He goes on vacation soon. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens, what he does on Twitter while that's going on. We'll see if he actually tries to leak any pictures of maybe a chick's arm or elbow or knee or something to try to verify if she exists or whatnot. Who could say? Like I said, I have a couple more projects in the works. Hope to get those out soon. Tell me what you guys think about this whole situation in general. Just some of my points that I brought up, and what are your thoughts to it? If there's something that you feel that I've missed, please put it into the comment section below. I very much appreciate it and whatnot. And we're not going to do another segment of GTG Radio because this has run long enough as it is. But I had put a quote, an outro, I should say, in my last video. You guys seem to like it. So I'm going to pick another one, and we'll see how that goes on. And we'll see if any of you guys can actually tell me where it's from. Similar to the intro. So there you guys go on that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG network and productions. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, the world is a scary place out there. Especially when you have people like Phil who don't know how to pay his fucking taxes and is holding fundraisers to fix a mess that he put himself in. Is in it. This is GTG signing off. End the broadcast.
One story the guys told me, the story I believe, was from his days in Turkey. There was a gang of Hungarians that wanted their own mob. They realized that to be in power, you didn't need guns or money or even numbers. You just needed the will to do what the other guy wouldn't. After he looks over the faces of his family, then he showed these men of will what will really was. He's gone. Underground. Nobody's ever seen him since. He becomes a myth, a spook story that criminals tell their kids at night. Rat on your pop, and Kaiser Soze will get you. And no one ever really believes. Believe in God. And the only thing that scares me is Kaiser Soze.